Hey, cousin. How you doing, cousin? Come on in. Listen, this is your favorite cousin, Coach Mo, and this is a little more work. Listen, cousin, we pulled up on one of my favorite cousins. I mean, favorite cousins. She's so talented. She's not only just a photographer, she used to do management for a lot of hip hop artists. One thing I love about this in this moment, about this woman, she had her own podcast, and I was a guest on her own podcast, and it was so amazing and powerful. She's a mother. She has her own brand called She's Dope, and she is. Listen, she loves her children. She loves her community, and she shows up being authentically herself. Y'all put y'all hands together for my favorite cousin, Miss She's Dope, Gabby Hernandez, y'all. Woo! Hey, sis, how you doing, boo?
Queen. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to have you in this moment, in this space, in the music space. Like, how you doing?
Blessed. Very blessed. Excited and honored to be in this space now with you.
Yes.
When you were my guest.
Yeah.
So to see the tables turn, and I mean, we have a lot of elements that we share together. I mean, like you said, being in the space of music, being at 12's Wax with all these vinyl records. I mean, you're an amazing artist yourself, so
Yes.
I appreciate this. It's appreciation, gratitude, an abundance of just being in a space where it just feels like home.
It feels like home for sure. So for me, I was just like, I have to call Gabby. That's my girl. You know, we go way back. We have history. You were there when I launched my book. You've been there at some pivotal times in my life, and whether it was transitioning into music, into author. So, and now I get to see you doing something outside of just music, but you get to be behind the lens, and you get to look into other people's worlds and their lives behind the lens. Who is Gabby, or She's Dope, behind the lens?
The storyteller, the one that is documenting what could never be duplicated, the one that is just being in her element of holding space, comfortability, even getting people out their box of being afraid to be in front of the lens. A lot of people don't like taking pictures. A lot of people don't like to be on camera. A lot of people don't like to show their face for many different reasons. Anxiety, depression, that mental health is a real.
It's a real thing,
Yeah.
and it happens to be Mental Health Month. So we're right on time of people not being able to see themselves the way that you may see them.
Yeah, I love capturing especially women that have always had the thought in the back of their mind, like, I've always wanted to do a photo shoot to feel good. So to be able to bring that out.
We have guests today. We got little bugs coming. Cousins, you know, they're little cousins. They flying around us because we awesome. Don't worry about it.
We smell good.
We smell good. That's what it is.
But to be able to bring out the essence and the beauty of a woman and show her how she looks, and just to see the, oh man, like that is me, moment is beautiful, and the wanting feeling of wanting to do it again. Especially like a lot of women are trying to venture out into being entrepreneurs and doing things like yourself, podcasts, public speaking, books, being an author, or even getting into the music world of being an artist. They don't have that guidance, and sometimes I feel like I am in the place where God has had me be, and that's to share it's okay. I will help you, because I know myself. I remember having those feelings of feeling alone and not having that support. So it's like that reminder that we need to support each other.
Absolutely. As women, and as a community,
Yes.
supporting one another. We don't have to look alike to support one another.
Definitely not.
you know? And so I love that. What I love about you, like you said, that you do it for women. And I'm sure for you, what was the inspiration? Did you experience anything in your life that made you kind of like drawn you to women to like really have a empathy and like a heart for women, seeing their insecurities, seeing their depression, seeing things that they was navigating through? What is that? What was that for you?
Yeah. That dark space that I was in, and domestic violence, being in an abusive marriage, knowing that I felt lost,
Wow.
and trying to find myself.
So you didn't feel seen.
No.
And now you identify, you probably can notice someone else when they're, do you see that sometimes on
Yeah.
people? You recognize it right away because you've been there. Let's go back to the music. So when you were in the industry and you were managing different artists in the music, was that same feeling, was that there for you in music as it is for photography?
At the beginning, no. I felt like I was just surrounded with, men being sexualized, being approached in a way where I'm like, I don't do stuff like that. And then being told, well, if you want to do this, you'll have to do this. And it was like, I'm not going to forget who I am just to be in that space.
Right.
Or being seen. Or even just because I have my own traumas, I'm not going to give up on me and just say, you know what, in order for me to be in this space that I want to be,
Right.
I'm going to give up my body like that.
Right.
So-
Right. Good for you. Good for you. You set boundaries for yourself. You were able to say no, a hard no. And I understand that. I identify with that. Sometimes you feel like, especially when you're pretty and you're a people person and you're the girl that can hang with all the guys, sometimes it's, you want to just be sis. I just want to be sis. I don't want to be anything else. So a lot of times you kind of feel forced to be in situations where you're like, I wasn't doing that. I was vibing with you or working with you.
Yeah.
And but it's always good to when you do find people that see you as you are and not nothing else. So I'm glad that you were able to navigate through that. Now that you're doing the photography and you're out of an abusive relationship now and you're doing different things, you did the work. What work did you have to do to actually get to where you are today? Like, how did you have to internally do that work? What did that look like in real time?
I had to dig deep. I had to do the shadow work. I had to get myself in a mental space of a reminder of I can do it. Even with my kids, I could not give up because of them.
Right.
And so I had to do things like go back into stepping into my faith, building my relationship with God, and knowing that it's okay. It's okay to go through the process. I went to therapy, and a lot of times people think, or you will be told, why would you do therapy? Why would you sit and have a conversation with somebody you don't know? Well,
Why not?
I knew I had to find my way back home to me, but I also knew that I needed to die in the process, and that meant letting go of my past and healing while doing that to rebirth myself. So when I was going through that process, I made sure my kids were in therapy. I made sure I was in therapy. I made sure that I held myself accountable and I wasn't doing the pointing of the finger, because we do that a lot.
We do.
But also in the same time, while I was holding myself accountable for things that I needed to work on, I also needed to learn how to forgive.
And that's the biggest piece, forgiveness. One starts with ourselves, forgiving ourselves, forgiving that circumstances that was happening, and giving yourself some grace. And all those elements come into kind of like a pie, it's like a piece of a pie. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, this piece, and now it's a full circle. And I seen you, and I see you often working out. I seen you do those changes during COVID. We were in the clubhouse, remember?
Yes.
We were just all encouraging each other. Do you remember when I said I was going to write a book?
Yes.
And we were all just in a space where we were just like, we're going to hold each other accountable. We're going to do this. And I seen the growth. I seen your consistency, which I love. Showing up in the gym, and that's discipline that you had to do. And I'm sure that was part of your healing as well.
It was. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. It became my therapy. Outside of going to therapy, it was my therapy where I was able to release. Because I have had moments in the gym while I've been working out, and all of a sudden grief hits me and I'm crying. And I have to take a pause to allow myself to cry in the gym in front of other people and have them staring at me like, is she okay?
Right.
But in that moment, I have learned to, and I don't want to say not care what people are thinking while they're looking at me crying, but if they do come up to me, I'm going to be honest and be like, I'm just in a moment of feeling some things right now.
So you're allowing yourself to feel your feels. That's one of the things that I say in my grief group. As a facilitator, just yesterday, I was telling my group, if you feel something, Monday you could be totally fine. Tuesday, it's like a wave. You feel so many things when it comes to grief. And grieving is not just a loss to someone physically. It could be even the loss of yourself, grieving that.
Yeah.
Grieving the identity, your old identity. You're walking in your newness, even as a believer, right? You can be a believer and God is doing a new thing in you and you're like, okay, I like this, but it might not feel as exciting that it was when you're on the other side of that. And sometimes we grieve that old identity because we're so used to being that person.
Right.
So we have to learn how to fall in love with this new person that God is revealing. Now it's already been in us. We just kind of ventured off and did our own thing in life, and we have to learn that person. And sometimes that's a sense of grief. And then sometimes we're just grieving things that we went through and trying to navigate through that. So the fact that you were able to do that, you're able to feel your feels, you're able to articulate and put language to that, that's amazing. Because for me, I know I will cry. I'm a cry baby. If I feel it, I'm gonna cry. If I'm at work, sometimes I was at work just kind of like having a moment, and someone would come to my desk and say, "Oh, are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm having a moment," and I'm able to articulate that instead of saying, "I'm good, I'm okay."
Right.
And I think if you can be honest with yourself and you can be honest with your own emotion, I think that's a part of the healing as well.
It definitely is. It's that honesty with yourself. Accountability.
Accountability,
It really is something that you really have to reflect on and accept the things that you were wrong in.
Right.
Like I said, we're guilty of always pointing the finger, or quick to point the finger, instead of saying, you know what, let me take a moment to pause and see where I was in the wrong.
Yeah.
And I can admit that I was horrible at that. I was quick to cuss somebody out and not really process what was coming out of my mouth. I was rude, disrespectful. And that was because I had to learn how to be on survival mode all the time. My wall of defense was always up. Instead of saying, you know what, let me allow for somebody to help me.
Yeah.
Or even check me.
Yeah.
And I wasn't. So I had to really come to that point where, like, Gabby, you are always not always in the right. Like,
Right.
girl,
Look in
get
the
it
mirror,
together.
get it together. Yeah, that piece is big. And that's not just you. I've had to do it too. You know, sometimes when you're single, right? I'm single. And sometimes in conversations, you meet people and people are like, so what happened in your last relationship? And it's so easy to go into a whole spiel and say, well, you know, he did, and you know, this happened. But I think for me, my conversation has been, what was my takeaway of leaving the relationship? What did I learn about me? And what could I've done better in that relationship? I think that that's more my language and conversation as lately, but that hasn't always been. It's been pointing the finger, it's been blaming and not taking accountability. Or if I'm taking accountability, is a reason why. It's like, well,
Yeah.
I'm accountable, but they did this. So that's why I responded. So it's always kind of like an excuse of my reaction. So it's big that you are taking responsibility of that and accountability. That's huge. A lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, because I had to remind myself of how do I want to be. And I think this is a question that comes up a lot of times, even when people are asking you, how do you want people to remember you? And I don't want people to remember me as a negative person or someone that just had issues and you really couldn't be around. I didn't want to be that person.
Yeah.
Even with my kids, that was like my biggest part of, I didn't want my sons to be angry with me or see my children be in toxic relationships just because off of what they saw with their mom.
Yeah.
Because we are the example. We are the guidance. We are the women to show the males that we birth what a woman's supposed to be. So I wanted to be an example. I know I always tell my kids, I'm not perfect.
Right.
I will never be perfect. But I want to make sure that you don't end up repeating the same cycle that I did. So it was important for me to break that generational.
Yeah. You know, what I learned about, you know, being a mother and some of the seeds that were planted there when I was broken, even though when you evolve and you're not the same woman anymore, that doesn't mean that the womb that you kind of impart into your child is not there. And that was another thing. That's another piece that we don't talk about. Like, yeah, I may have, you know, matured in this area. I've grown. I'm doing healing. I'm doing therapy. I'm working on myself. However, that doesn't discredit some of the damage that was done.
Right.
And that's something that, you know, that's another level of accountability to say, if you see your child respond to you a certain way, it's because they're triggered. They're not triggered about the new you. They still triggered about the old you that they still have to heal from. And that's one of the things that I learned as well. That's another piece of healing. So, but I've seen you be in a space with your children and being a wonderful mom. How does it feel to be a mom, like in this place of your healing and growth?
To see my kids accomplish a lot, never giving up on themselves, and even trusting me.
That's big.
And still hearing them say, I'm not who I am because you are the one that set the example for me. I am who I am because of you.
Yeah.
To hear them say that, and just even a reminder to me that they know, they see, and they feel, and they have processed and have been open and honest with me too. They still hold me next to them.
I love that. I love that because that's not everybody's story.
No,
You
it's
know,
not.
everybody doesn't have that. Some people don't even talk to their parents or don't even talk to family members. And sometimes family members cut up. We know they cut up. Y'all cousins, it ain't y'all. Not you cousin. Y'all, it's not y'all. Y'all don't cut up. It's just some other cousins be cutting up. And at times we have to learn how to set boundaries even with family members, friends,
yeah.
business partners, whoever. We have to learn how to set boundaries even This little gnat is gnatting us, and it's trying to get me because I smell so good. And I think the gnat wants to be a part of the movement of the cousins. I think so. You're part of the cousins. Come on, gnat. Now go away. But I'm really proud of you. I am. The work that you've done, the work that you're doing, and just navigating through this life. Because we know life does what it does. It lives.
Yeah, it does.
But to see that you're doing your thing, you're still smiling, you're still showing up for yourself, showing up for your children. And now you're in spaces now. I seen you taking pictures with E40 and all these different. So tell me about this world, like being behind that now, because you're healed now. So you're in a different scene. How is this?
My light of positivity has taken me to places never imagined. I'm glad that even through the midst of life hitting and everything that I went through obstacle wise, I still held on to certain things, and that was one of the things. And I remember you saying this when I first met you, when you were doing music still, is not burning bridges. Mm-hmm. Let people burn bridges with you. I remember you telling me that. Mm-hmm. And so I held on to my relationships that I had built while I was managing and promoting and throwing shows early 2000s. I held on to that. And so then, like you said, when we were COVID, trying to hold on to each other and motivating each other, inspiring each other, and saying, "Hey, this is what I want to do, but I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. This is I have this idea, but I'm not sure." And in that midst, I did my podcast, trying to just maneuver in these spaces, trying to find where do I fall into the music, because music has been a big part of me. Mm-hmm. And I knew that I wanted to get back into it, but I just didn't want to go back to what I used to do, because I didn't want to deal with the personalities and the negativity and, what comes with that.
Yeah.
I wanted to do something different. And because I did grow up with my mom being a photographer,
wow,
that's always been a piece of me.
Okay, that's good.
So I used to hate it. I used to hate photography. I used to hate my mom trying to pull me. Take this picture. Go pose over there. Put this on. I used to hate that.
Really?
I have pictures where I'm mugging. And my mom was like, I'm going to take this because I want you to remember how you look. Mm-hmm. And I used to be like, whatever. Just take it. And in the midst of all that, I was like, you know what? I think I want to document in a different kind of way. I think I want to try photography. Maybe my mom had something going on that I wasn't seeing at the time. And let me pick up a camera. So I ended up buying a camera. I started off with Canon and sat in the box for half a year. Until I was like, you know what? Let me reach out to somebody. I saw... She's my sister-in-law. I still hold a really great place in my heart for her, and she's the only one that was there in the midst of everything that I was going through. She was there still, and the only one. And her daughter and her son dance for a lot of different artists, like especially her daughter. She does a lot of traveling with a lot of artists. Like currently, she's on tour with an artist. And they were doing a 3-day workshop. Okay. With Phil, that used to be a part of Jabberwockies. Okay. So I reached out and I said, hey, I'm trying to get back into like the music, but I'm trying to do it with photography. I don't want nothing. I'm not trying to get paid, but do you think I can like just come and just capture and see what I capture and go from there? She's like, yeah, I got you. Not within like 30 seconds, she calls me back. She's like, you're good. And I said, oh, okay. So I go and I'm shooting Keita the Great. Mm-hmm. My niece was there. A few other different other artists from LA were there. They were shooting a music video. They had so many different people. They had Chunksta that created the Smees there. And so I shot I started posting on my Instagram. From there, people were like, what are you doing? These photos are, you captured that? I'm like, yeah. From there on, I took off. I started like doing my research on music festivals, sending emails, just introducing myself, letting them know what my connection is with the music. And I'm just a freelancer trying to work my way into building my portfolio. Don't want nothing. I started getting yeses to these music festivals. So I would drive to LA to Rhymefest and just start shooting artists.
Wow.
So I ended up capturing a few artists that I was just like in awe with. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. I'm shooting living legends.
Right.
The Far Side. And I'm like, okay. But there was one artist in particular that caught people's attention, and that was Medusa. And from there on, I had people hitting me up like, yo, this picture is dope. And then she reposted it.
Wow.
And then hit me and was like, sis, thank you. You got an eye. And I'm loving this. And when she reposted that,
everything just
started trickling. And then fast forward, I'm friends with Jason.
Yeah.
A lot of people know who Jason is.
Yes.
And he started kind of just tiptoeing around like, so you shooting? You doing this? Okay. And just on a random day, he goes, hey, I want you to come with me and do some photos. And I was like, with who? For you? And he was like, no, Richie Rich and Larry June. So I was like, are you serious? And he was like, yeah, I trust you. And I want to see what you do. So from there on, I went to that, and it was game over.
Game over.
I got the call to shoot 440 with him, and then got to shoot Sugar T. And next thing you know, everybody's like contacting me like, yo, what? Like, you're doing this? And of course, I didn't just want to stay in photography. Then I started learning the videography side and how to create content for myself. Because one thing that I learned is you can't depend on everybody to, hey, can we set a time to do this shoot? Or can you have time to do this kind of work for me? Graphics. I had to put myself in a position to learn everything.
Yeah.
From editing to graphics to
Yes.
creating flyers, you name it.
Yes.
And I started doing a lot of BTS work for a lot of my friends that are in the industry. And two of them are here locally, Space and Bay God. They have been big supporters of me, not just that from here now, but they are part of my past. And they've always believed in me to the point where they're working with artists that, when they hit me up and they're like, hey, can you come do some work with us for Tash from the Alcoholics?
Wow.
And then even building my relationship with him and just working my way with people seeing me with them and just asking them like, hey, who is she? And, and just meeting all these people to the point where we were at will.i.am's studio in LA for FYI. And even standing next to him, I'm like, oh, where's Fergie?
You're so silly. You're so silly.
But, it's just like a reminder to me, being a Latina, growing up in South Sacramento, in my Black community, because that is my life. I grew up in a Black community, being a Latina, that I embraced my community. It was more of not just because I'm around all these artists, legends that people grew up listening to. It's the fact that I'm capturing stuff to document not just them, but me.
Yeah.
to bring back home, and share that with my people. But also, I want to be able to achieve a point where I want to do a documentary, Becca festivals, and bring that award home for my community.
I love that.
Especially, not being born here and everything that we're dealing with
Yes.
politics.
Yes.
Even with, police brutality.
Yes.
The protection of my kids, because my kids are half black.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, like, I don't try to use that because my kids are black, but I'm protective of my world. This is where I come from. I still remember who I am.
Absolutely.
I still speak fluent Spanish.
See, that's about the one word I know. Gracias. Okay. Okay. 2. I know 2 words.
But those dreams, as a little girl, that I always knew that I was going to do something bigger in life.
I love that.
I just remember I go back to when my parents used to have a Monte Carlo. My aunt lived on 14th Avenue in Oak Park. And I just remember being in the back seat during the summer when we used to go back home, just with the window down and looking into the sky. I kind of felt like Selena in that moment where she's the little girl dreaming. I remember that. And I just remember that I wanted to be something big.
Yeah. What age were you at that time?
I was like 9.
Wow. And you were like, you knew you wanted something. So when you were dreaming, what was it like? Did it look like music? Did it look like photography? Or did it look, or just something? It was just
It
something.
looked like entertainment.
Yeah.
It looked like award winning.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was.
But you knew it was
but
big.
I knew it was something big. I knew that I wanted to win with my friends. I knew that I wanted to do something bigger than what it looked like for me. I knew that I wanted to be in a space where I could make my parents proud. And even now, I think about, like, my dad not being here, because that was who was the impact of why I even love hip hop or music in general, is because of my dad. And just that, like, that feeling of, like, a lot of people do get to do this. They get to bring their parents to things that they have. I wish that I could be able to take my dad to a concert and see him just enjoy something that he introduced me to.
Wow.
But the fact that I can't, because he's not here no longer, is still a reminder of me, of that little girl driving from Oak Park to South Sac and knowing that I had dreams.
Yeah. I love what you said about your father being proud of you, and knowing that, like even with my mom, losing my mother, and I'm like, she would be proud of me in this moment. And I think that your father would be proud of you as well in that moment of you, you're being a little girl that was dreaming. You overcame so many different obstacles, and now you pivot. And I know that our parents would be proud of those things, because maybe some areas that they couldn't get it, or they wasn't able to go into some spaces that we have an opportunity to.
Right.
That's legacy right there. That's history. So some things are passed just to push the baton to us so we can just go a little bit further. And that's a part of the work. Before we wrap it up, I want to say, what was the moment for you when you said, aha, I've done the work and now I'm ready to go? Not arrival, because it's not an arrival to the work, but I've done the work, now I'm ready to go. When was that moment for you?
my daughter graduating.
Okay. And how long has that been?
This is in the current.
Okay.
My daughter graduates in 2 weeks.
Okay. So it's in now. It's happening in.
This is a now moment for me. Seeing my son graduate from Sac City, seeing them accept offers, and it's like, now this is it for me.
Yeah,
This
it feels
is my
good.
wow moment, but at the same time, not to be like you said, aha, but for the doubters, the ones that felt some kind of way, I just want them to know that negativity, I didn't ride with it. I turned it into a positive.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And that's where the forgiveness comes into play.
Absolutely.
I forgave. I don't wish nothing bad on nobody, ever, ever. I actually want you to take this and use it to your advantage to flip things that you may still need to work on.
That's good, Gabby. That's really good. That's big. That's huge. And I know you're proud mother, proud woman. You're doing your thing out here. I'm super proud of you and seeing you thrive in spaces that you didn't imagine. You've seen a glimpse of it in a 9-year-old little girl. Now you're in a full grown woman operating in the gifts that God has navigated you and leading you to. If you had one thing to tell either a upcoming photographer or even, a woman, what would that be? Look in this camera here and encourage someone today.
I know a lot of people don't fall into the religion place, but you don't have to. You don't have to be super religious. Whatever you believe in, whatever that looks like. You are given a gift. You are given a purpose road. Don't hold yourself back. Don't let the next person hold you back. Go for that. Because you don't want to end up being that 80, 90-year-old person that says, I wish I would have did that. I now feel bad because I didn't try it. Or what was I thinking? Just go for it. Because you'll never know what that feeling is unless you try it. At least if you do try it and it didn't work, and you still have to find your purpose of what that looks like for you, you go on to the next because at least you tried it. So never give up on that thought, that vision, or even something that you wrote down years ago or present. Go for it because you never know what door may open for you.
Listen, I love that, Gabby. Listen, I enjoyed you in this time talking to you, and I just appreciate you. I really do. Thank you so much, sis, for, just being a part of this movement that we're doing a little more work. And the work is we're doing it. We're doing it in real time, in real life. Listen, cousin, thank y'all for listening. Our favorite cousin, Gabby, came on, and she really, really encouraged you. And I hope that you take away something that will take you to the next level. I hope that you can tap into something that you want to do. Listen, there's always more work to do. But whatever work that you do, remember, look inwardly and take God with you. I'll be talking to you soon. All right now, cousin.